Mr. Brian Barczyk. Let's not waste any time in this world. Um, tell the ones that you love, that you love them. Because they could be gone tomorrow. They could be gone. They could be gone today. Um, Mr. Brian Barczyk, what you mean to me and how much you've done for me. You've done things for me that I could never imagine. You turned our friendship into a relationship like a family. I had a few hard times and struggles this past year, health wise. You were there every minute. You messaged me. You would message my father. You would talk to him and ask how I'm doing, and you cared. The moments I had to go through in life, sitting in the hospital, and then like knowing that like you were in more pain. I had no words to say, like I I really couldn't complain about anything in life. Like they were rebuilding a brand new hospital right outside my window. You couldn't get any sleep. You couldn't get any rest. No, I'm not saying you get rest at a hospital, but it was kind of just one of those moments where, okay, I'm going to have to understand what's going on. And most of the time, I couldn't. But when they were doing construction and they wound up cutting the cable line, I've been watching Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune the whole time while I was in the hospital, and that's something I look forward to, and I didn't have cable, and I was upset. But I did have my phone, and I did have Brian. So I sat there and watched some old vlogs and stuff, and podcasts that we did. But that day I was realizing, like, man, this could be my last time. I'm I'm a fighter, Can't say much that I fight a good battle, but I have angels looking out for me to make sure that I'm still here and I'm still around to have my life and live my life to the fullest. But Brian was there, checked on me, and I was able to, kind of feel that relief of, man, he's going through a lot, and he's telling me I have nothing to worry about. So I didn't. When I got out of the hospital, I couldn't understand like how to really walk or anything like that. Just the whole rehabilitation part, and Brian would always tell me just to take it easy, just to kind of go with the flow. Try not to get emotional at this point. But he announced he was gonna be an animal clown, and I had already bought my ticket. I was going regardless. I'll never miss an animal clown. But when I got there and I got to see him, um, it was a shocking state of mind, knowing like every person I've seen go through it has passed, and then the people that have passed from passed, you know, passed away in my life through cancer. I didn't really like pay attention or have any effort of emotions, and when I seen Brian, I had to hold it in because it that's not how life should be, and the first thing he says to not me but to everybody was, don't treat him like a cancer patient. Um, I didn't know how to accept that part, because perception is reality. What you see is what you get, and I could see Brian was fighting. He was fighting, but being around everybody, he he didn't show, his he wouldn't show his side of him in pain, and only a few people got to see that, and that's tough. That is very tough to go through. Just have blank thoughts, blank thoughts and memories of just everything. I remember when we went to the hockey game, and they've got like not like cardboard cutouts, but like the main hockey players all sitting there together, and I'm bundled up like crazy. I got my pizza hoodie on. I got another jacket. I'm like, and my long hair, and then I don't ever wear my hat forwards, and like, you know, that day it's just like, okay, as soon as you see me, this is where you find this guy, and I wore my hat forwards, but I handed my phone to Brian, and I was like, hey, take a pic, can I get a picture? I went to go stand behind the things, and he took the picture. He took two of them for me, and then when he handed me the phone back, I was just like, man, my phone sucks. That had to have been a terrible picture. But I never really like took pictures with Brian because I lived in the moment. And in my life, my 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 passion was like sunset, sunrise. So you only get 3 minutes of it, like I would take pictures of it, but that moment, I would always just kind of tell myself, hey, if you don't take a picture, that memory is yours. That memory is priceless. No one can take that memory. No one can take that sunset away from you. No one can take that sunrise away from you. And being around Brian, that's how I felt. It was like I didn't need anything else. And like with social media, I wanted to post the things that I were doing because it was affecting me on, the things that I was fighting just emotionally and just trying to understand how society's really going to treat you. And every time I would be around somebody and I would just say, hey, I got snakes, their first words was, I don't like snakes. And what Brian taught me was, how can I change their mind? And I would. I'd do my best. But at the end of the day, I got to meet Brian. I got to meet my hero. I got to see his vision. I'll get to hear his stories. I'll get to hear the memories he's had with other people. Because nobody's going to stop. Nobody's going to stop telling these stories. And even if they tell the same story, I guarantee you there'll be a little bit more icing on the cake. Man. Just looking at a sticker on this thing that I built a cabinet when I was 15, and everything I got in my life is inside that cabinet. Everything. And I built that when I was like fucking 15 years old. And I still had it. Whoa. I didn't really realize that. But man. Brian Barczyk. None of these animals that I have here will ever forget about how much of an impact you made on me. I know your spirit's around. Watching podcasts last night, and you see what you see sometimes, but can't wait for things to happen in life where Brian's moving stuff and using that energy. But man, so he was a paranormal guy. Brian definitely. Yeah. I never thought I'd ever be making videos about a friend, and how much impact they've made on me. Because none of my teachers done any of that. None of my friends in the past have done that as much as Brian. I'm most definitely going to the zoo today. And spend my time there. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Brian, we'll be here to take care of you and your family. If anybody ever has any questions, feel free to reach out. And stay giant.